gentlemen, apologies for being late, but welcome to round 7 of the Xbox Americas here at Singapore, where qualifying has been underway for roughly 5 minutes. As we watch everybody try to set their best lap times around one of the trickiest circuits on the calendar. Now, just a minute here, I'll take a quick peek at the standings so far this season. And so far, CJB are shady. Who knew? He's leading with 131 points. He has a 23-point gap back to Professor Phil. And right behind Phil is RSF1 Credo. Back there in third. They're split by just 3 points. Cool Kyogre sits back there in fourth with Sub for Lime right behind him, and Tom sits right behind Sub, who has Alonzo right on his tail. That's your top 7. So, we'll see what Singapore has installed for us. Sure to be a very high, or very dense race in terms of safety cars, and a very low dense race in terms of finishers. But it should be very exciting to watch. As so far, Shady has set a lap time of a 36.2, and that is over 6 tenths faster than Porsche 918 in second, who has 36.8. Oh, Harvey can't cut the corner, unfortunately. But after Porsche, Yosit sits there in third. He sits over second behind Porsche, with Alligator and Phil and Rick Lou right behind. Very slow start to qualifying today, but that's to be expected with a track this long. As Vito is on a lap, I believe. So we'll watch him for a little bit. And Credo on a second lap on medium. Second lap. Where are you going? Jimmy? You alright there, guy? Well, as we just witnessed, he just intentionally DNF'd there into turn 3. So I wonder how that will go down. Well, it looks like Jimmy will not have a very fun time after that. Alright. Well, a quick interview with Jimmy. He says he was giving Carito a tow. So, I guess we'll go with that. Alright. Sorry about that. My controller just died. Alright. Shady. Looks like he's on a lap. Has improved. As he goes through the quick left, right, left, and into the hairpin. As the sector split shows him almost 3/10 up on his lap time. Now that would put him almost a second ahead of Porsche in second. That's quite the tally to gain. So there's a caution in sector 2. And a caution in sector 3. As John gets in Shady's way in the final corner. Ooh, boy. Qualifying is bringing a bunch of stuff. So as John gets in the way of Shady's pole lap, he still gained 3/10, which is incredible. But I do wonder if that could have been 3.5 tenths. As Porsche's now on a lap time. Another caution in sector 2. Looks like it was Rickley. As Phil goes third fastest, Porsche crosses the line soon after and validates his lap time. Oh boy. He gained 1.2 seconds on that. That might have been enough to beat Shady. I think it was. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. He's got to be throwing his temper tantrum over in the party by now. But anyway, cool on a lap. I wonder what this sector will show him at. Cool. That's a wall. There's a caution in Sector 1. Who might you be? It's Gouds. I think just trying to clear traffic. Does not seem to be doing it very fast, though. Is he out on the same set of tires? He is. Why is he on the same set of tires? These tires are like 4 laps old at this point. Of course, it says 2 laps, but when you count out lap and in lap, that adds up. Everybody else in front of him, Alligator back in front, up into 4th, has thrown on fresh softs. This goes for the 3 cars behind it too. So Corrido playing some sort of tire strategy going into the race. Well, I'm not sure how that will work out here. As he invalidates his lap time and appears to be going for another lap. He does have to be careful because I believe he has Godot coming up behind him, who's just parked on track. I don't think you can do that. But Corrido goes onto his 5th lap on those tires now. Godot crosses the line, Yosa crosses the line, Alligator crosses the line at some point. Sub crosses the line, and soon the Professor, Porsche, and Shady will all cross the line on their fresh softs. Corrido about 200 seconds faster on his lap time as we saw Godot retire there. I don't know the corner number, but I think corner 7, corner 8. That is sure to slow some people up. But anyway, Corrido about to cross his lap time. Alligator does not get another lap. He sits in 4th. Alonso, he finishes in 7th. Harmony 15th. Rikaloo 16th. Corrido crosses the line, trying to improve on a set of mediums. He goes 4/10 faster. He's up to 3rd. Right behind him is Yosit, who did not get his lap and he spun. Sub, he crosses the line. What will he get? He goes up by 6 tenths, up into 5th. Porsche retired, we saw that. Shady's still to cross the line. He's right behind Henny though. Oh! And he spins as well. Does not retire. But that is his lap done. Although he may be alright, I do not believe Gouds or Phil are sending another lap time. There's Porsche's car. As we watch some shenanigans on track there. Oh boy. Well, this has been an interesting qualifying to say the least. And that is your final. That is your starting order. Shady on pole, Porsche starting in second, Credo on third with like 6 laps old tires for whatever reason. Phil in fourth, Cool in fifth, Sub sixth, and I did not see anybody behind him. Alligator in 7th, Gouds 8th, Alonso 9th, and Godot in 10th. So, should be interesting. Carino, just 2 tenths behind Porsche. Out of like 6 lap old mediums. He's only about a 10th behind. But to be fair, Porsche did just get 1 lap. But he does sit 9 tenths behind Shady, who also only had, or no, he had 2 laps. But who will prevail? The faster driver or the tire strategy? Or the Canadian that thinks he can somehow make it? Stay tuned to find out. Alright. Well, we're back. we just saw Shady play some bumper cars with the walls for some reason. That was interesting. There's Jimmy driving backwards and into the wall. What is going on? So, Shady, you were crazy, and then Jimmy beat you. Alright then. So Porsche now leads the field to the green as Jimmy cuts the corner. What is Jimmy doing today? I'm sorry I'm not saying much, guys. This is, I don't know what is going on. Oh, okay. Well, he's back, caught up with the field. So, I guess we'll return to the front. I don't know. But Porsche leads the field to the front. Shady will be one of the last ones parked, which will be somewhat beneficial for him since he'll have warmer tires. But I mean, I don't know if he'll have to worry about it too much. He does have Porsche on his right, but Credo behind him is on a set of mediums that are pretty much already halfway into their stint. So, that being said, here we go. 5 lights. And we're underway in Singapore. It appears Shady gets a very nice start. Porsche does not, as Credo's already alongside. He's 3 wide going into turn 1. 2 Alpines run wide. Shady is forced to cut the corner. But Porsche remains in second as of now. Credo looking down the inside, going into turn 4. He remains in the position with Cool right on his tail. There's already a spin. Looks like Sargent has spun at the start. As Cool continues his hunt on Credo. And further back into the field, they're all single file as Jimmy looks down the inside of Yosut. And Sparty retires from the session. I didn't quite see what happened there. But looks like he ran wide and just hit the barrier. Simple. Seems simple, but who knows? I mean, he seemed to be in Jimmy's presence. As Yosut runs wide, Jimmy dives down the inside of Godot. As he is already up to 12. And he started in last. I don't know how he did that, but props to him if it was legit. Godot makes a little switchback on him. Going into the tightest part of the track. There's another caution at the back. Rickaloo has retired. Looks like he might have gotten into it with John and maybe Sargent. I missed that too. I'm missing everything. Man. Apologies. But in the meantime, Yosut right on the back of Sub. And all while this is happening, Shady's starting to drive away, as per usual. And and Porsche's kind of acting like a buffer between him and Credo. Oh, it's a VSC. I missed that for a little bit. Virtual safety car. Does anybody pit? I think John is pitting. Yes, he is. As Sargent has a drive-through penalty speeding under VSC. Now, if he's watched any of our streams in the past, You will note you cannot do a drive-through penalty under yellow, which it is not anymore, so he doesn't have to worry about that. So now Shady can continue his race out in front, and we'll try to pull away as there's a yellow Sergeant again. Seems to be doing a bunch of donuts today. Yosa continues to hunt down Sub, who runs wide, gives Yosa a chance to... Will he send it? He will not. He will not do a Maki Bomb. Alright. We'll have to wait a little bit later for this. It shouldn't be long. It is, as it is, primarily single file through the rest of the field, although with very narrow gaps. Shady sets a 145.6, which is immediately beat, and there goes Gouds. Spins on the final corner, pulls right in front of Godot as he lights those soft tires up and gets back going. So we did just see Jimmy make a move, I think. Well, I don't think he made it stick. So we have a 3-car battle here for 8th, as the gaps between all the cars are starting to spread out. Oh! Takeris and Godot side by side going into the section of the track. This could get very tricky. I know from experience. But these two keep it clean. Props to them. And in the end, Godot has to back out. Probably wise. But will he get the chance to beat him back? I'm not sure. DRS is enabled. Is there a caution in Sector 2? Looks like it's Gouds again. Tires may not be back up to temperature yet, as he gets rolling again. Jimmy, very ambitious moves here tonight. On a set of hard tires, sorry, but it seems he is ready to get a roll on as Yosa dives into the pits quite early. Just lap 4, and he was on a set of mediums, which is... makes me wonder if there wasn't any contact between the two. As these top 4 have pulled quite a ways out in front, Shady has a 2-second lead over Porsche, who has then about a 2-second lead over Corito, who has Cool hot on his tail. And remember, Corito's tires are 6 laps old starting the race. They're now up to around about 10 laps of age. If I were those tires, I would be cussing the heck out of Corito right now. As Cool cannot get anything done on the front stretch. Don't blame him, it's a very short stretch. And Alonso has gained up some time on Alligator. As Cool and Corito enter the longest part of this track, DRS enabled. Corito all the way to the right side of the wall. Cool takes a little look, gets all up in Credo's meters, does not make it work. As Alonso goes sailing by Alligator. Sub now on his tail. And that is one position up for Alonso. A fairly seamless move from him. So now we see if Cool can do anything on this shorter section of DRS. Does not look like he's anywhere close to it, which is unfortunate. We want to see some racing, guys. As Sub is trying to get some racing for us. Thank you, Sub. Jimmy is now up to 9th, which is very impressive from his back of the field start. So now Cool and Credo enter the front stretch a little bit further back, but nonetheless still in DRS range. Nothing here. Now all that matters for him is if he can get close enough. As it appears, Alligator's in the pits. Seemed he might have spun beforehand. Now there is a yellow. Somebody is spun on the main straight, I believe. But we remain to watch Cool as he attempts to go around the outside. Gets forced off a little bit and is forced to give the position back. All the while, the gap between these two and the top two is just growing. I can't talk right now. And neither one of them complaining about that, I can assure you. It's Cool, still hot on Credo's tail. Gets DRS again, but does not have enough time to catch up and is forced to wait until what I would assume would be the longer stretch of the next lap. Oh boy, that was not the cleanest of sectors from Cool. He does remain in DRS range, but we'll have to wait probably another lap as we see Credo get very loose coming out of that final corner. It's further back the field. Sub, he's in the pits. Like you've styled Harmony, the place gets a little bit loose on the final corner there. But nonetheless, moves up. As I predicted, Cool will have to wait another lap before he can get by Credo. Is Jimmy now trying to get on Alonso for that 6th position? He will have to wait another lap as well. Take Reese not far behind. These two are very close. He may have a move going into Sector 3 as if he keeps his distance, but not sure. We'll see if he'll be able to do that. As he tries to get the move done early coming out of the hairpin, he gets the DRS, looks around the outside, and will not get it done. He was not very aggressive on the brakes there. As he sends a Maki bomb down the inside of, I don't know what corner that is, 14? 15? Something like that. But will not get it done as Tigris has a little moment there. Loses a little bit of time to these two. And Jimmy, as we've seen, very ambitious to get going. Alonso dives in the pits. He wants nothing to do with this. As Jimmy gets very loose coming out of that final corner. Now Jimmy has moved up to 5th. He's gained 14 positions. which is quite the feat for just being 8 laps in. Now cool, he has the DRS again. He will not have the space. He will not have the time to catch up. And very slowly, these two are catching this man right here. Porsche 918. He's had a very uneventful race up here in second. About the same as his teammate up here leading the race by a solid 4 seconds. This gap just dropped about 0.3. As Cool will try again. No, he won't. Very much a DRS train right now. Although it's a very short train, it's kind of like they got no passengers. So it's just the train and the caboose. You get my analogy. I know you do. Style Harmony, he gets a 3-second time penalty and joins Gouds on that list. As that gap between Porsche and Credo has dropped about 0.5 over the course of that last lap. So Porsche may be losing his tires there. As Cool now has DRS again, he is seemingly much closer. He takes a look around the outside, tries to make it stick, and he does for the moment, and gets past Credo. But Credo makes a little switchback move, does not make it work as there is a caution. I believe that was Henny that retired, and now a safety car has been deployed. Cool, you did that just about perfectly. And my prediction here is that everybody will pit. Even if you just did, I feel like everybody will pit. Let's see, the first runners, John will pit, Gouds will not. So John is the first in the pits. I believe Godot is next, he will not pit. Sargent is next. I believe he will pit. I'm not sure what his situation is though. And he will not pit. So that just leaves the front of the field. Top 4, 5. I believe the top 4 will pit. Though I'm not sure what Carrito will do. As yes, Carrito will pit. Will his teammate pit back there in 5th? I guess we'll find out. Double stack here. Will this work out for Porsche? Looks like he is too close. Yes, he may lose his position to Cool. We will find out here. He will not. He was safe. As Cool does hold his position to Carrito. As Jimmy did not pit, and he is now in the lead. 10 laps in, and he has gone from last to first. Very interesting at how he was able to do that. Of course, that it's to the hard tire, so he is not pit yet, but it should be interesting as to how that turns out for him. So now we sit here behind a safety car for a little bit. And everybody but Harmony and Jimmy has made a pit stop. What tires is Harmony on? He's on a set of hards as well. Now, I believe these hards can go to about lap 17? I'm not sure about that though. Oh, what just happened there? Did Porsche just lag? I believe Porsche may have just lagged and lost his position to Cool, which is kind of funny, but that's really unfortunate. You you never like to see that. Anyway, I believe safety car will be in this lap. Not sure about that though. It is not. It is coming in the next lap. Or it is coming in this lap. That is very late notice. And Jimmy just parks the brakes. That's interesting. Jimmy keeps up with his shenanigans. He parks the brakes once safety car is told, or once safety car is announced it's coming in. So now when will it launch? As Greedo goes into the pits again. And there Jimmy goes. Still swerving down the front stretch. As Shady plays it safe and doesn't do anything about it. As that was a bad corner from Shady. You don't see that from him very much. But that was a horrible time for him to do a little bit of a mistake. So he's lost Jimmy's rear end, and Porsche, his teammate, someone you would like to see in your rear mirrors, has caught up to him. As Greedo now sits 24 seconds behind the back of the pack. And he has some work to do. Of course, there is that possibility of another safety car, but who knows when that could come out. As Gouds gets another time penalty back there in 12th, as we continue to watch Shady hunt Jimmy down. And we just saw Jimmy let Shady go by. And I'm not entirely sure why. But nonetheless, he did. And is now in Porsche's sights. As the ERS is enabled. No DRS because it is only his second lap. Cannot get anything done. A little bit of contact between the two. But nothing major. Further down the field, Sound Harvey holding up about 5 cars here. So everybody very eager to get by him. Starting with the professor. Because I'm sure he's making some very smart calculations as Alonso takes some advantages over Alligator's mistakes. Cannot make them move though. Sure, he's not too happy about that. As Porsche is still struggling to get by Jimmy here. Shady has extended his lead to 5 seconds. It's not even been a lap, technically. This is just the fastest lap in the process, 39.498. Porsche now enables ERS. You're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer, Porsche. As this is probably his best opportunity. Phil does get past Harmony and can start this hunt on Jimmy. Porsche tries to get very early. Jimmy squeezing him a little bit. Does get the move done before the corner even starts. And now it is Cool's turn to attempt an overtake on Jimmy. As Jimmy lets Cool go right on by. What is Jimmy doing? And now there's a safety car? You retired. Where'd the safety car? Wait, where'd the safety car come from? Nobody wrecked. Where'd the safety car come from? I'm so confused. Okay. So, we just got a safety car seemingly from nowhere. And that has diminished Shady's insane lead that he had, around 8 seconds. As Jimmy tries to pit, but can't even pit right. He gets a 5-second penalty doing that. And needs to change his front wing. But also in the pits we have Alligator, Harmony, Jimmy, who we just saw, Gouds, Godot, Sargent, Sub, and Yosa. So pretty much your last half of the field is taking a bit of a detour through the pits. And put on a new set of tires. As now Credo's new set, or fairly new set, mediums, may have paid off. But we won't find out until he can actually get towards the front of the field. Well, we knew this was going to be a long race, and it is going to be a long race. So, I am going to cover myself up with a blanket and try not to fall asleep, because it is still very cold up here. And now we take a little break. And who should we ride along with for these next few laps? Let's ride along with Mr. Sub. We'll be right back. Alright. Well, we're back. Lap 17 to 31. We got about 14, 15 laps to go. I believe the safety car is coming in, yes. And Shodu backing off the field as he always does. Like our boss. He has his teammate Porsche right behind him. And Cool right behind him, who's remained in that podium position. It just hasn't seemed to catch a break. But Shitty pulls the trigger, leaves his teammate in the dust, with Cool right behind him. As we watch the field go into turn one, nothing exciting. As Jimmy, major corner cut there. We also watch Gouds get another penalty. As Harmony seems to let Sub go by. He also gets a penalty for extending wide there. That's never fun when you get it there. Harmony seems to have an issue. I believe he does have front wing damage. Yes, he... Oh. Well, I think he had front wing damage, but that definitely looked intentional. Because you do not just end up here with front wing damage alone. Alright. We'll move past that. As Harmony leaves the session back down to 15 runners, we have lost roughly a fifth of the field. Or sorry, a quarter of the field. As the battle continues through what seem to be regular groups of people at this point. So there's now a caution. Looks like Gouds was in the wall, but I would not... Yes, there's some damage on Jimmy's car. Not sure what happened there, but we know there was contact. As Credo, who we remember pitted at an odd time, right when the last safety car came in. Now trying to catch up with the top three here. As both Jimmy and Gouds make their way to the pits. Side by side with Yoset, he will, I believe he had to concede that position. Not sure about that. As there's a group of four here. Wow. As John goes around the outside of Alligator, makes the move stick. And now Sargent takes a little bit of luck. He's way too far back to make anything happen there. That was a beautiful move by John. Now Sargent is trying to track him down. He may end up being caught by Sub here though. Because now Alligator trying to chase John down once again. I believe that may happen at this rate. DRS enabled from the front of the pack. That will come in very handy for Corrido, as he is just a few tenths behind Alonso's. Jimmy gets another penalty. I'm not sure. What are we at for penalties? It's just the last five drivers. Sub with time penalty, or 3 seconds. Same for Yoset, Godot, and Jimmy, and then Gouds back there. 15th with 9 seconds. This Alligator gets the move done on John and Sargent gets the move done, and Sub trying to capitalize on this as well. He also gets the move done. So in a matter of corners, John drops from 8th to 11th. Does he have full damage? No, he does not. So that was very unfortunate for his case. Credo still trying to get by Alonso as a sort of cluster has formed again between Credo, Alonso, Fit, the Professor, and Cool. As the top two once again driving away. Goes Shady back up to 6 seconds on his teammate. Sorry, just Shady running away. Porsche's still within range of Cool. Within that second, at least. It's further back, same sort of guys. They have roughly 8/10 to a second gap between each other. As Godot has now caught up to Yosa. We're probably get a move done coming up here. It's a fairly decent run coming out of there. DRS enabled, ERS, all of the above. Oh, he gets caught behind him. Cannot get the move done. Thankfully, he did save his front wing. That's very important, as he will get another chance fairly soon, I would imagine. Sub has caught the back of Alligator, who has caught the back of Sergeant. When did Sergeant get ahead of Alligator? I missed that. Now these three duke it out for 8th place. Nothing happening here, of course, as it is a very short straight. But I do imagine that something will happen on the other side of the track. Started running fairly wide through those corners. Although that may have worked out for him as he puts some distance on Alligator. As John is in the pits, Godot gets that position. Same with Yosa. As Alligator has continued to fall from Sergeant down to about 7/8 there. Jimmy gets another time penalty for extending track limits, I presume. As these three continue to battle, there's a caution for Gouds. He has retired, and safety car has been deployed. I cannot see where he was. Where was that? Looks like it was intentional. There seem to be a lot of people that cannot put up with the Singapore heat and are intentionally retiring. I believe that's 3 or 4 that have appeared to intentionally retire from this race, as we are now up to our 3rd safety car. Shady into the pits, Porsche also into the pits, Cool pitting, as well as Phil and Credo. What was that? Alonso pitting, take Reese, everybody appears to be Sergeant not pitting. He's the first to not pit. Does not look like Sub has pit or Alligator. And Godot, Ryosa, Jimmy not even close to the pits yet. So that puts Sergeant and Alligator at the top of the field, followed by Shady and Sub, And then the rest of the order as is, pretty much. Jimmy comes into the pits. John does not. Will he beat the other guys? I don't think he will. He does beat Yosut, but not Godot. So now we have a little bit of a shakeup. How will this man deal with the traffic in front of him? There's only 8 laps left. It's not like he can exactly take his time. But there is also the chance of another safety car. Will that happen? At this rate, I don't think so. 8 laps left, fairly consistent field at this point. As now we wait for a few laps for the cars to get back green. So, while we wait, we'll step away again. Alrighty, we are back. Here's the safety car will be coming in this lap. And it does seem like Sargent has taken a page of Shady's book and held the field up quite a bit as there's contact between Alligator and Sargent. And Shady ready to go as they do get rolling finally. Sub quite a ways back. Porsche trying to get the move done. Shady, the same thing on Alligator. He does get the move done on Alligator. Same thing for Sub. It's very chaotic as Cool makes contact with Sub now. And Credo getting by from that, as well as Alonso. As there's contact and Sub into the wall, loses front wing. You kind of saw that coming. Back to the front of the grid. Shady alongside with Sargent. He is trying to go around the outside, and he gets the move done. In 4 or 5 corners, Shady is back into the lead and controlling this race. Farther back, moves Cool gets around Alligator, as does Alonso. Corrido trying to go down the inside. Let's see how this works out. As Alligator gives the position back, and here comes the Professor. Calculates this perfectly, gets around Alligator off of Corrido's move. As now Take Reese sits back there. There's a caution behind them, appears to be John. Yes, I do believe it's John. As now Take Reese looks down the inside of Alligator, does not get the move done. All while this is happening, Porsche has gotten by the Sergeant, as now he is next up for Cool and Alonso, who sits just behind. Boy, what a start to this safety car. So, Cool, right behind Sergeant. Should be done fairly soon, I would think, with his fresh tires. But of course, no DRS yet. Corrido looking to make a move on Alonso. Does not get it done. Very good defensive driving as Sargent loses it in turn 3. Cool gets by him. Alonso trying to capitalize off of his mistake. Tries to go around the outside. Attempts to make it stick. Oh! Puts Sargent in the wall. Corrido sure to go by. As he does, as now Alonso appears to have taken him into the other wall as Phil goes by. Not sure what happened there. Phil goes by. Alligator now caught back up with Sargent. Gets brake checked and loses part of his front wing. This is holding up Terry Queries and a train of cars. As Shady gets a 3-second penalty. Should not matter. I believe there's contact between Yosa and Jimmy. Or maybe John and Jimmy. As Take Reese, Sargent, side by side. Godot goes through. As now Alligator into the wall as Yost from contact with Yosa. And Take Reese followed by Godot. Yosa trying to put the move on Sargent. Appears to have it done before the corner starts. And now Godot sits off after Take Reese. Oh, boy. Whew. I think we have a break. I'm not sure. Godot is still on the back of Take Reese. It's Cool is caught up to Porsche. He does have a time penalty though, so Porsche should be safer for a little bit longer as there is a caution. I believe that's Alligator in Sector 3. Yes, it was. As Jimmy puts a move on Sargent, Yosa in the pits. Sargent also in the pits. There may have been contact there at some point. Or yes, I think Alonso and Sargent had contact, if I remember right. So now, Porsche is under threat from Cool. Not to mention Corrido, who follows pretty close behind. As farther down the field, Take Reese just behind Alonso, who still has Godot on his tail. Just a few tenths separate. Gotta be careful not to run into Alonso, who does not have damage. I figured he might have from his contact, but he does not. It appears to be all set to go toward the end of this race. There's these two right next to each other. Of course, if you're Porsche, you can't let Cool by, because that would put him into clean air. But at the same time, if you're Cool, you have to get by, because Corrido's right behind you, and you have a penalty. You gotta go. So, who will prevail? Who knows? Well, we watch Take Reese for a little bit longer, as Alonso does appear to have damage. It didn't appear like he did visually, but from that corner, it does look like he does. So now Alonso down to 7th. That puts him right in Godot's sights. I wonder how that will turn out. It is cool with DRS very quickly down the inside of Porsche. Didn't even have a chance. Porsche down to third, as now Carito is right on his tail. Now remember, Porsche is still finishing in second at the moment. Carito gets by Porsche and they stay within 3 seconds. Carito gets that second place as there's a caution in Sector 3. I believe that was Sargent again, as he gets another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It does appear that Cool is pulling away from Porsche ever so slightly. And let's see. Going through this final sector, he may get him out of DRS range. He does there for a moment. Ooh, this is very tight between the two. Yes, Porsche's out of DRS range. That is not good for him. So now, it's all up to Carito to claim what is at the moment second place for Porsche. And Porsche did climb back into that DRS range, down to 6 tenths, 4 tenths. Jeez, that went down. Half a second between the two. As Godot and Alonso seem to have duked it out for a little bit. I missed that. And John gets another penalty. A bunch of penalties racking up right now. As there's another caution in Sector 3, that is Alligator. I think he ran along there. Continues to race. Nothing big there. This gap has come down quite a bit between Carito and Porsche. I don't think the move will get done as they both have DRS, but who knows? Anything can happen. We have a caution in Sector 1. I think that's Sargent again. Tell by looking at the map there. As, yes, there he is on the outside. Probably lost on that final corner there. But, not major. The race continues. As we watch these three go pretty single file. As Sargent spins out again, probably from his hot tires. As we see, can Porsche get any closer to Cool? He cannot. That leaves roughly one more chance for him to get by, but at this point it doesn't matter. He just needs to defend from Carito. As Cool does have that penalty, remember. As Shady gets another penalty, if he's not careful, he'll fall into these three, as he's only clear by about roughly a second and a half. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out. Although at the moment he is pretty safe. As your leader for most of this race, CJBR Shady, on course for another one, starts his final lap around the treacherous and slippery Singapore. As the battle for the podium continues behind, although it's kind of worn off. I believe these soft tires have started to reach their end, and they can't really work in that dirty air anymore. And that goes for everybody, as they all have a few seconds between each other. As Shady goes through Sector 2, just set to cruise control right now, as Sergeant has spun out yet again. Right after turn 4/5. /6, because numbers are cornered weird. Corners are numbered, you get what I mean. As Shady, who's driven a beautiful race all day, made it through traffic quicker than anybody I've ever seen. Especially at Singapore. Quite the perfect pit stop strategy. As he rounds the final few corners here, and will take checkered flag at Singapore. Cool right behind him. He will cross the line second. He will finish the race in fourth. Not a bad race from him. Porsche takes second. Credo takes third. Phil finishes the race in fifth, followed by his teammate there in sixth. Quite a race by Take Reese. Godot in the Williams will finish in seventh, although I'm not sure if he will finish eighth with his penalties. He will still finish seventh. Alonso in eighth. Now Jimmy the shenanigan man. He will finish in ninth, as he does even more shenanigans. Imagine that. The great Yosa. He will round out your top 10, for now at least. Avoids Jimmy's shenanigan car. John in 11th, Sub in 12th. Alligator will be 13th, and Sergeant rounds out the order in 14th. So, there you have it. Driver of the day goes to, I think that said Jimmy. But, very clean race by your winner and championship leader, CJBR Shady. And you gotta say the same thing about Porsche, who has thrown away numerous races with his wins. And rounding out the podium, the man who started on medium tires that should have been halfway through their stints at that point, RSF1 Corrido. Well, there you have it. Round 7 of RSF1 Americas. One more time through the order: CJBR Shady, your winner, followed by his teammate Porsche 918, and Corrido rounding out the podium. Cool there in 4th, followed by Phil and Take Reese, the Ferrari bros, in 5th and 6th. Godot in 7th, Alonso 8th, Jimmy in 9th, Yosa and John, the 2 Mercedes, 10th, 11th, Sub in 12th, Alligator in 13th, and Sergeant in 14th. And our 6 retirees: Gouds, Harmony, Henny, Rickaloo, and Sparty. Five. Sorry, I was going off of 20. 5 retirees, my bad. So, with all that, thank you for watching the stream, and we will see you next time.